Hi, I'm Nalini, and as I speak, it is 29th or 30th, depending on your part of the world, March 2024. We are within Gaia, within our world and our bodies, which come from her elements. We are within a massive metamorphosis. This is more than a rewiring. It is more than a recalibration, although that happens moment by moment at this time. This is a regeneration of every bit, every particle of ourselves and the currents and ripples and waves into the tide that the planet and our bodies are becoming. There are no outs here, there are no do-overs, there's nowhere to run. We're all going through this. And for those of us who've been spiritually or metaphysically inclined for many years, this is known as a shamanic death, as egoic dissolution, something like that. How are those two terms different? And I'm talking about the term, the label. Egoic dissolution implies that the ego that we form to interface with the planet must be completely dissolved. I'm not sure how functional we would be, as there aren't enough caves to go around, if that were true, but I find it does become completely transparent, free of the patterns and programs that form limitations. We all take on limits in order to incarnate because that defines an experience. When it becomes limitation, we become like the panther in the cage where the door has been left open, but it knows no different, so it stays there. That's our true essence, becomes a bit like that. And, you can rebel against that, fight against that concept as much as you want. It doesn't make it any less accurate. Shamanic death is, or tends to be, has been in certain traditions, the process of going through a series of, or one or two or several or many death experiences of a particular identity in order to evolve. I used to have bookshelves, many. The shelves behind me are not mine. I used to have bookshelves, many, full of spiritual literature, metaphysical literature, all this information that some of which I read voraciously, and some of which was very valuable reference material for my evolution process, my awakening process. And at a certain point, that circumstance was taken away from me. Would I have voluntarily surrendered all that wealth of knowledge? No. Maybe. Finally did. This is a bit how the identity, the ego, works. It says, oh, I've amassed all this knowledge. I don't want to lose it. What makes you think when you transcend to higher frequency, to a different level, not better, just different, that all that doesn't come with you? This particular transition, this metamorphosis of Gaia and of our physicality, is designed for us to keep the wisdom we have gained, because we have, but leave the lesson, leave the classroom, leave the building, because that particular school of learning is complete. Now, you may not feel it's complete, or you may still be running a program that says I have to dot I's and cross T's and get dust bunnies. I used to have that. It's funny now. Can we really do that? I suppose it could take, the cliche is it takes 10,000 lifetimes. Who's got that kind of time right now? Not right now. So this is an opportunity that we're going through. If you settle in to your true essence, the source essence, the light, the love, whatever you want to call it, that you are, the clear light of reality. I like that term. You might prefer another. If we settle into that, we begin to feel how superfluous, how silly a lot of that other stuff has been, fun though it might have been, and how something else might be wanted going forward. That kicks in some of the fear programs that say, well, I'm not going to swing off this branch until there's another one. And that can provoke fear. That can provoke fear aggression, fear of the unknown. Well, what's going to happen next? Well, no one knows. Not mentally, not conceptually. The feeling state of our true natures, the light that we hold. These bodies, courtesy of Gaia, were designed to infuse and allow and receive more light all the time. Not more than anything else. It's not a comparison. It's not a competition. It's just an infusion. So egoic death, the egoic dissolution, that process has a particular energetic configuration. Shamanic death, that particular process, that conceptual framework, has a particular energetic configuration. So does metamorphosis, consider Kafka. So does transformation. So does transition. These are terms, they have definitions that elicit concepts. I had a session with someone not too long ago who's saying, well, if Gaia transitions, is she going to die? Which means that in that person's inner dictionary, transition equals some form of death. Technically speaking, in the energetic architecture, that's a little bit true or accurate. But what if what's being transcended into, and not leaving this and going to something else, but it's the inner alchemy of shifting. What if that's actually more true to the inner nature, more accurate and optimal? Optimal at any moment, serves anything and anyone. And only that individual, be they two-legged, four-legged, finned, winged, only that being, be they a tree, especially the trees have it though, they don't really need this information, that being, their true nature, their aspect of source that is embodied in that being, that is what truly knows. Can this level of metamorphosis be taught? No, that's why we're being put through it and shown it and living it at every moment. And the more we can let this be the natural, organic, and amazing and wonderful and source-supported process that it is, the smoother the very turbulent ride will be. April is about to be interesting. March had a lot of upheavals and sort of the popcorn effect. April is going to have some very interesting, very intense surges that will, from the inside out, change everything. It may not look like it on the surface at first. A lot of it has to do with how much are we willing to see? How much are we willing to be aware of? And for a lot of you, especially if you're still watching this, you probably are willing. You're definitely well able. Are you ready? And right now, Gaia is going through this. Our planet is going through this. So it's one of those ready or not moments. This is not a drill. We are being changed and we bought that ticket. So shame, blame, all that other stuff, all those other schools of learning can be surrendered, dropped. And it isn't that easy, no. But the willingness, the readiness is all, as Shakespeare wrote, is being present with. This is what is purging. Don't identify with. Being present with is not an identification. It's like the different definitions of different configurations and different terminology, concepts, constructs. That's all fine. Because all different beings need different ways of receiving and allowing information. What is it that you find is optimal for you? Now, before you let your mind decide, be present. Be as present as you are able in every moment of this upcoming month. And you'll see, feel, and know.